Hello, in this video we're going to show you how to assemble this dining table. But before we get started, here's a few things to keep in mind. Make sure you have a Phillips head screwdriver. Make sure you're putting it together on a soft surface so you don't scratch the top. Third, make sure you have a second person to help you move it around. And fourth, just make sure everything's facing the right way when you're putting it together and you'll do great. So let's get into it. In steps 1 through 3, we're going to assemble the legs of the table. Step 1 is putting the dowels into pieces 4. So with your little tube of glue, you're just going to put a little drop on the end of each dowel as you put it in. Don't need too much, just enough to cover the end of it. And then just do them all the rest of the way, and then we'll move on. In step 2, we're going to insert these headless bolts into these pieces here, into pieces 2 and 3. So go ahead and just screw these into the middle hole on each of these pieces, just as far as it'll go. And we'll do that on all 4 of them. Okay, those are all in. And then in step 3, we're going to insert pieces 4 into the middle of these. And when you're doing this, you just want to make sure that the edge where the hole in the middle is closer to is pointing towards the long side of the legs like this. And also you want to make sure that the holes are facing up on pieces 2 and 3, and that the holes are facing up on 4 as well, like this. And go ahead and insert those in, like that. And then we'll take our little half moon washers here, and our nuts, and then our little wrench, and we'll go ahead and put the half moon washer in to fit the curve of the circle. And then once it's flush with the edge of the circle, you can put on the nut inside. And then get it as tight as you can with your fingers. That way we don't have to do as much with the wrench. And then just tighten it the rest of the way with the wrench. Then do that on the other 3 holes and we're good to move on. In steps 4 through 7, we're going to attach this crossbar between these 2 pieces. And for that, you'll need the 2 thicker dowels and the 4 wood screws along with your screwdriver and our tube of glue. And we're going to start on step 4 by just inserting these dowels into the ends of piece 5. So go ahead and put your glue on the end and then just insert it into the big hole on the end. And if you need it, you can use a rubber mallet to tap those dowels in. And then we can move on to step 5. And on step 5, we're just going to insert one of the ends into our legs here. And you just want to make sure that these screw holes here are facing this way towards the short end of the legs here, since this is the bottom. So go ahead and push that on like this. And then we'll take 2 of our wood screws and go ahead and screw those in to the holes here. And don't over tighten them, you don't want to strip these screws. Okay, so that's step 5, and for step 6, we're going to just attach the other end. And I'm going to lay it down this way, just because that's easier for me. And then we'll go ahead and insert it this way. And then screw in the screws from the bottom. Alright, those are all tight, so now we can move on. On steps 8 through 11, we're going to attach the legs to the top of the table. And I've got my legs back here, and I can just bring over and slide into place, like that. And on step 9, we're going to attach the bolts, and for that, you just want to have a bolt, and then the lock washer, which is the small washer, and then the full-size washer on top of that. And then you'll go ahead and insert all 8 of those into the legs. And just make sure the legs are flush into their notch when you're doing it. Alright, so that was step 9, and for step 10, we're just going to keep it upside down like this for now, and just take our little plastic covers and go ahead and stick those in to these holes on the legs under here. And if they're not going in all the way, you can just tap them with a rubber mallet. But mine went in just fine. So that was step 10, and then step 11 is just adjusting the feet on the bottom if your table is uneven, and we're done. We hope this video was helpful for you in assembling your new dining table. For more tips, tricks, and guides, go to walkeredison.com.